And with our big story, the holiday travel season is in full swing, but one local group is issuing a warning about travel right here in the Valley. They say it applies especially to people of color.
The group Potter in Action has been monitoring police-involved shootings all year. They say the majority of people shot by police are minorities.
Tonight, 12 News' William Pitts is verifying their claims about the role of race in these deadly exchanges.
The group says there are hot spots around Phoenix, places where people of color are more likely to be shot by the cops, and this is one of them. This is basically Maryvale all the way to West Phoenix. And that group says it crunched the numbers itself and found that people of color are more likely to be shot by police. But how true is that? Do the numbers bear that out?
We started tracking the officer-involved shootings, and we started tracking who they were, where they were, the location.
The group Poder in Action watched the number of Phoenix police shootings go up all year.
And then when we definitely hit 25 was a huge moment for us.
At the time, 25 was a big deal to everyone, including Phoenix Police Chief Jerry Williams.
No one in our wildest imagination would ever assume or think that 25 officer-involved shootings.
25 was a while ago. As of this week, the number stands at 43 in the city of Phoenix. And they say the majority of those people shot are people of color. That's why Poder has issued a travel warning, telling minorities to be careful of the cops in Phoenix.
Latinos are 4 times more likely to be shot by Phoenix police than white person.
But according to Phoenix PD's own numbers, Latinos are almost exactly as likely to be shot as white people. 16 people the department classified as Hispanic have been involved in shootings this year. 15 people classified as white have been involved. But add up all the minority shootings, and yes, minorities are involved in police shootings almost twice as often. Phoenix PD did not want to comment, but all of those officer-involved shootings are investigated, and so far all of them have been ruled justified. Poder in Action doesn't believe that.
Officers, all they have to say is that they felt threatened in some kind of way and that everything's justified, right? It is really hard as a country to hold officers accountable.
So we can verify, yes, the majority of people in officer-involved shootings in Phoenix are minorities. The question now, and it's one of many questions Phoenix PD wants answered, is why? William Pitts, 12 News.
William, thank you.